I haven't seen any kind of video online that really goes into depth about how to clean yo-yo bearings. But I will say that this is not a complete set. The last thing I need is probably a very specific kind of lubrication. What I'm using right now is 4VM, which in my opinion it's pretty thick. Another option is trumpet valve oil. And I mean like just generic trumpet valve oil. Something about it is really nice. So this is a concave bearing. It's also a pixel bearing, which if you don't know, it's pretty much the best bearing on the market. And I'm not really happy with the performance, even though, yeah, that's okay. It's not great. So keep in mind that fire is not good for these. Just let them dry out with air. Okay. One step that a lot of people don't do is they don't clean the bearing seat. Now, a lot of people like to use isopropyl alcohol for their bearings, but that's one of the worst things you can do because alcohol has a lot of water in it. So you do not want water on there and then air dry it. Now, I'm not sure how great it would work if I just if I didn't air dry it, if I just used like a lighter or something. I've never actually done that. Compressed air to me seems like a much better option. But even though this yo-yo is brand new, I still got some metal shavings on it. And I'm going to use the other side of the Q-tip because I don't want to contaminate either side. A lot of people leave this floating, this axle floating. I've never found it to be a problem. So, there we go. Nice and clean. So, now that we know for a fact that our bearing seat is most definitely clean, the second thing we have to do, put it on a little screwdriver, get it on a hard floor. There's nothing here in the house that's really hard enough for me to do this, so I'm going to go out in the garage because the garage floor is a great option. I wouldn't put all your weight on it. You just got to remember the size of the bearing. These are kind of small bearings, so for one, you want smooth concrete and not like sidewalk or something like that, because not only is there a bunch of gunk, but it's an uneven surface, which means that the force applied to each bearing is different. So you just get as smooth and hard of a surface as you can to roll it. Now that I've rolled it, I'm going to go ahead and run this for a full cycle. So now that I've gone one full cycle, I'm going to roll it one more time, and then I'll put it in another cycle. So 2 cycles in total. Okay, I just rolled it again. Now already I see some stuff coming off of it. Now that another cycle has run through, I'm going to put the smallest drop that I possibly can. Okay, do you see that drop hanging off? I'm going to let that drop fall off. And the reason why is because I want the absolute smallest amount that I can possibly get. Now, while the bearing is still wet, that's very important. While the bearing is still wet, take that microscopic amount of lube and just tap it. Make sure you don't spin this too quickly. I think about 30,000 RPMs is good. It's a little bit faster than you can throw it. And there it is. Now if you notice, it's not spinning 100% freely just yet. It still has to dry out. I tend to like to air dry them, but that's just me. And you can do that because it's mineral spirits and not water. Otherwise, if you're using isopropyl, you really want to dry it out the best you can. And in that case, an air compressor or a compressed air would be just fine. Now, I'm not going to put this back in the yo-yo just yet. I'm going to let that dry out a little bit. But hopefully this is everything that you needed to know. I'll put a link to what I think is going to be the best lube. But first I would try trumpet valve oil, just so that you could see what you like. This might be a better lubrication if you're more of a beginner, but personally I like 0 backspin, and this is my method for getting the backspin out of your yo-yo. So like this and comment if you can. That's really going to push me up in the algorithm. I'd really appreciate that, because my channel is brand new, and I'm not really taking any payment for it. I'm not ever going to be sponsored by anybody. I'm just going to do products that I feel are the best, and I will be selling my own products eventually. Just look out for the Play 1A. That will be my signature yo-yo. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's still spinning. It's been a long time since I've cleaned a bearing like this, but I just kind of want to show you. Just want to kind of show you how long that takes to stop. Now, that is about as good as it's going to get. That's as close to brand new as you could possibly get. So, hope this helps. So just to show you guys, this is not a completely clean bearing, but it kind of plays like one. The ultimate backspin test is to do this and then see if you can pull it down like that. So that's pretty dead. I mean, so have fun with it. Clean your bearings. This actually is good for any kind of bearing. But again, this is a pixel, and I would highly recommend that, because your bearings are the engine to your yo-yo. So if you're going to get a better bearing, the yo-yo is going to function better. So, yeah. Also, concave, don't get anything else. The flat bearings are just a waste of money, in my opinion. So, all right. See you guys later.